So here at the top right-hand corner of Tal'Dorei Altar, we have Millennium Stephano spawning as our pink Zerg player. Down at the bottom right-hand corner, we have our purple Terran player. That is the one and only TSL Alive.
I'm not mocking you. I'm just making faces at the camera. So Stephano is gonna be the pink Zerg. You know, you punched me pretty hard one time.
Well, really?
You've socked me pretty hard once before. So I know that was a playful one, but like I actually fear.
That was
like,
an OU. So
okay.
The fat hiding strength. Most people don't expect it. So it's much like the Spanish Inquisition. No one ever expects it.
Like the Trojan horse, no one ever expected that.
That's true.
Yeah. That's what they should put on the as a slogan of the. Can I say it? The condom company, Trojan?
No one ever expects it?
No one ever expects it. Trojan condoms, nobody ever expects it.
I'm reading into this on far too many levels, and this is actually creeping me out a little bit, so...
I think it's a great slogan.
God.
It's so catchy.
No one ever expects it?
I mean, that's why I thought they named it Trojan in the first place, right? All right.
You, sir, are a card, and I will deal with you later.
What player would that go well for?
What, the slogan no one ever expects it?
Or Trojan?
Action Jesus? Six pool is the way to victory. Anyway, here we go. Barracks coming up at the front now for TSL Alive, and he's going to put down gas after that, so no sort of cheesy bunker 2 racks rush. Unless he does something like that dastardly player that you were talking about that played you that showed gas and then ended up Maka-raxing you anyway.
Yeah, it's not a very common build. Actually, like, it really delays the second barracks by a lot to get, like, the refinery up and mine some gas. I just was an idiot. So, I mean, it
happens.
Yeah,
it happens. Stephano, though, putting down 15 hatch, so he's going to get pool after that, deciding that the positions are okay for him. But I've got to say, they're not really all that okay with him because from the distance of the natural to that sweet spot is actually very short, and Stephano has the potential to receive some real damage from TSL Alive siege tanks in the future.
Yeah, and no one ever expects it. So, yeah, I know that wasn't funny. So Stephano is going to be the pink Zerg at the top right. I'm just introducing the players now, and Alive is going to be the purple Terran at the bottom right. What do you think is going to happen this game, man? I'm going to defer to your judgment, your prediction here.
No, honestly, Marine tank, and then he's going to be a douche right here with siege tanks. So
he's going to be a douche.
No, trust me, I'm a Terran player. I am a douche with siege tanks down there. Bunker is coming up. Unfortunately, the SCV is already being hugged by the drone in the back, and never want to hug from drones. It tends to end your life a little bit shorter. Stephano going to make his way out with a few more drones, though, and I imagine it's going to put a stop to this bunker. There is one Marine coming out, but one Marine alone is not going to be enough. The bunker is actually getting perilously close to finishing, however.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If that actually gets up, that is devastating for Stephano.
He killed off the SCV, so he killed off the Marine too. And I don't think he lost a single drone, did he?
No, he lost a little bit of mining time, but that's about all. And we actually have we have one Reaper coming out and actually a second coming up as well. So those drones are actually not worried about anything else coming up, but I imagine Alive is just going to use this and the speed of the Reaper to just dart back and forth around the cover here, and that could actually be pretty useful for him.
Yeah, and actually the bunker is spotting the high ground. Yeah, that's why he didn't cancel it. The Reaper can actually chill down there below. Oh, why did he kill the bunker off?
There was a queen out now, so he wasn't going to be able to do too much more damage.
I guess so. So he did fall back. I think he could have still harassed the Zerg for a little bit more and waited for the bunker to drop down in HP before canceling it. But whatever. That's his prerogative. There you are. And it looks like he's not going to continue the Reaper production, just has one for scouting. Maybe 2 on the map so far. I don't know. But I'm checking out the Zelnaga Tower. Is that a second Reaper? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was the initial herd Reaper. He's sending another one into the main, though. There's already going to be a queen here, so it's not going to do too much damage. Maybe able to pick off 2 or 3 drones. At the very least, he's denying a little bit of mining time. Pretty good reaction there out of Stephano. He is going to drive away that Reaper for the time being. And
oh, is he going to get the Overlord there? Yes, he does. Parks it right there. But however, the thing about parking it there, it's kind of nice in the early game, but eventually, yep, the building will lift off and it'll scout the high ground.
Yep, and that was actually really, really clever out of Alive. And the Overlord is done.
Overlord did go down. So Alive is going to keep all detection away from his base, wants to kill off every single inkling that the Zerg has over his areas. And so the Overlord did go down, and we'll see what both players transition into. Alive here is going to be able to take control of the tower, but now that the Lings have arrived, it's going to have to be pushed away.
Yep, and unfortunately this Reaper may go down. Oh, poor Reaper just before the Lynx, or before the Reaper makes it back home. Bunker, though, with these Marines is going to be enough. No, that's not a solid wall leading into the main, and these SCVs are going to have to get away, but not before a couple go down. Looks like they're being sent out to attack. 2 have fallen, 3 have fallen, and a 4th almost goes down, but stays up.
About Stephano, he's always able to find a way to get Lings into the main of the Terran. I don't know what it is. He has this uncanny ability to send, you know, a pack of Lings in there and do some damage, and that's what really sets him apart from other Zergs, in my opinion. He plays a high Ling production style in the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't get any Banelings, he doesn't get Mutas, he doesn't get that much gas, just gets a bunch of Speedlings, and since he has so many, he's able to afford to run a couple in and do damage, and I really like that playstyle.
And it looks like this time he is going to switch things up a little bit. He is actually getting that Baneling Nest, so a little bit different play out of him. He also has his 3rd coming up. Looks like they used the version of the map with just 5 mineral patches and a single Vespian Geyser with no destructible rocks. So here comes Alive, and he is going to see the Evolution Chamber, maybe use this Reaper to start working at these buildings. That Evolution Chamber is actually going to get very, very low here in a bit. Nice job. It's going to force a bunch of Lings out of Stephano. I don't think there's much he can do to save this Evolution Chamber.
Looks like Stephano may be waiting for Banelings here. Not sure why. I think he has enough Lings to kill that, and I don't know why he engaged there. He had a bunch of Lings in production. He should have waited for all those Lings to arrive and then attack, and that's what I was hinting at. Like, I think he has enough Lings to kill off the pack of Marines.
Certainly.
I don't know why he engaged so early there.
And it looks like he's going to wait until he rallies in more Lings, but he is going to lose this hatchery in the meantime because...
He might.
Yeah, Alive's going to be fine with just stimming up and sacrificing these Marines. We're still not assume. He's going to force himself back to a choke point, but oh, come on! Finish off the hatchery. He's not going to.
Get it.
Ooh, wow. I'm a little bit surprised about that. Would have figured he would have just focused down the hatchery because he wasn't going to kill that many Zerglings anyway.
Well, as it stands, it looks like Stephano was able to keep the hatchery alive. Bit of mistakes, I think, from both players, with Alive not killing off the hatchery with the stim prior, and Stephano not waiting for more Lings before engaging that clump of Marines. But now Stephano has Banelings out, and it is nice to have the Baneling Nest. He doesn't really get speed from what I've seen. He may opt to get it this game since Slayer is about to finish, but you know he's going to have Lings and Blings, and let's see if he decides to play a Bling Muta style.
And he's positioned himself out at the front, but of course the creep spread is not great at the moment. So these Marines are actually going to be able to engage pretty favorably. And we are in full-blown Marine tank medevac production at the moment, 7 Marines at a time. Looks like Combat Shield's just about to finish up as well, so we'll be able to make a nice timing. And there you go, you called it. Infestation Pit coming up, so pretty normal play out of Stephano. The addition of those Banelings to hold off some early pressure, but they haven't really been utilized quite yet.
And no Baneling speed coming for Stephano either, so really Stephano I don't think he's going to be making much more Banelings at all. Let's face it, Banelings without speed in the mid-game, not so great against stimmed up Marines. So here we are, a couple of Marines being dropped off, and it looks like some Lings and Blings going to chase away the Marines at the Zelnaga Tower, and all of those Marines are going to go down. But what about that drop inside the main? The Marines have focus fired the Queen down, a couple of Lings coming in, but that's not going to be enough. And is any drone's going to go down? It looks like they're going to get herded back to the back, and Alive not really focus on killing off drones, focus on killing off warlords.
I like it.
And saved!
Supply blocked his opponent, then took out a bunch of drones and Zerglings after that as well. Beautiful
little chopper save.
Beautiful save. He only lost 1 Marine. Oh, he's got. Hopefully he drops him down and drops him down as Marine bombs. No, okay, it looks like the Queen is going to ward it away. Doesn't have the luxury of being able to do that. Moving up another pack of Marines into the middle, though, along with the siege tank that is going to start camping that sweet spot.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and throw a siege tank up on the sweet spot right now. This is going to be a bit of a situation for Stephano. Is he going to be able to deal with it? A tank on the low ground and a dropship and Marines on the high ground. And Stephano doesn't really have that many Lings right now. I don't know where they are.
Oh my god, that was such good micro. He picked it up before the siege tank fired so that none of the Marines would take damage from the splash. And then he sat him right back down afterwards after all the Lings were killed. That was actually gorgeous micro out of it all.
That's some top 10 quality.
Yeah, certainly.
That was the case. But we do have some Lings out coming around the south, and it doesn't look like there's enough to break that tank line. And wow, that's bad for Alive, or for Stephano. Stephano could lose the game right now. The hatchery is going to go down to the natural. And where is his mass Ling production that we've seen him play time and time again.
Yeah, he doesn't have that luxury right now. He's only producing off of 2 hatches and was receiving drops again. Actually,
wow.
I'm sorry, there was another drop here at the top left-hand corner. So he's not mining with any of those drones, which means his economic rate is actually terrible at the moment. There's now more tanks being added to the mix as well. Creep spread is being denied. There aren't even any banelings left. There's 3 of them, but they're probably a little bit out of position. There we go. Now finally starting to make their way back in, but my God, Alive has... And look, he's even cutting off the flank path as well, so Alive looks so good.
Alive is looking great right now, man. I think he's got this game in the bag.
Yep, I do too. But it is going to have to play out because Stephano has certainly come back from bad situations. He was up by 30 supply against Marine King Prime, but I gotta say, much as I love MKP, Alive is playing better than MKP was in his set versus Stephano. So Alive's micro has been fantastic. Stephano is a little flustered now. He's forgetting to set his drones back to mining as well. The slow push is continuing. Here comes the big push out of Stephano, though. Only one of the tanks is sieged up, and a good fumble goes down, but even with that, the sheer number of units that Alive had on the field is keeping him alive.
Yeah, and that tank with only 4 HP was close to dying, but not quite. And Stephano's starting to fall apart here. I don't know if he can hold on. He's got to figure something out, but at this point, it may be too late. Those tanks are setting up outside the natural, and the push is ever coming from Alive. Look at these tanks and Marines. He just not even bothering to group them up anymore. He's just setting them out as they go, and he's just moments away from a win.
Yeah, and so Alive is going to go ahead and start sieging up this other expansion here over at the 12 o'clock position. Looks like he's running in a bunch of Marines as well, and he's just going to take out a ton of units. Those drones being dealt a ton of splash damage. Lings being sent in a handful at a time, but that's not enough. Infestor goes down. It does get one fungal off, but only one Marine died.
Is he going to Neo Parasite? I don't think he has the energy to do so. And oh my God, Stephano able to kill off all the Marines and the tanks, but you know what? Reinforcements are still streaming in.
Yeah, certainly. And Alive is just waiting to go ahead and bring a bunch in. All at the same time, he does have his third base up and running as well, producing 2 more barracks, so he's not forgetting his macro during the entire process. He is queued quite far up on all of his barracks, but he'll be all right. Don't worry about that. Looks like just a few units left now for Stephano. His economic rate is terrible. He's down to half the workers. He's less than half the supply. These Marines are just coming in. Oh my God, so good out of Alive. Looks like he is going to advance into the quarterfinals. That is amazing. There is the congratulations. And indeed, Mr. TSL Alive has advanced into the semifinals of the IPL 3 qualifier.